This is a Nekko Media podcast.
What's your pleasure, sir?
Welcome, cinephiles and Cenobites, to a new Cinebite, number 23. The boys Mox and Ono watched War for the Planet of the Apes this weekend, and I don't think either of them saw the same movie. Mox fell asleep, and Ono's still trying to figure out what he saw. Anyway, listen to what they have to say about the film. Generally, it was okay. The /tag configuration.
All right, welcome to a new Cinebite. This is /tag configuration. Cinebite number 23.
Fuck, we are timing out that number.
Oh, yes. Today we will be
Losing
reviewing
fans, gaining fans. Shout out to the Cutaways, they love us.
where we're gonna review War for the Planet of the Apes.
Are you sure that's the name? War for the
Yes.
Planet?
It's War for the Planet of the Apes. Yeah. Directed by Matt Reeves.
What else has he done? Because I feel like his name is familiar.
He wrote Under Siege 2.
Okay, that doesn't help his credibility.
No. He also did The Pallbearer with
That was horrible. Friends
David-
guy.
David
Schwimmer.
Schwimmer. Yes.
That was a piece of shit.
He directed that. He also did Cloverfield.
The first one.
Yeah. 2008
Oh,
Cloverfield.
that was a piece of shit.
He also did Let Me In.
Oh, the remake.
Yeah.
That was a piece of shit.
I didn't like any of these. He also did the previous Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, your favorite one.
The middle one.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That was the shit.
that was good.
Finally, he made a good movie. It only took like 20 years. But you know what, dog? I'm on my first movie, and that was a piece of shit, too. So, hey, if it takes 20, at least get there, right?
Right.
Matt Reeves.
The movie stars Andy Serkis as Caesar. We also got Woody Harrelson.
With a lot of speaking parts. Like, I feel like there's a lot of monkey dialogue in this movie.
You think a lot of the facial expressions is Andy Serkis? Because I've seen
Yeah. They're, like the
Yeah.
video games, right? They got all that thing on their
Right.
face, right? A lot of it is that motion capture.
Right. Because there's a lot of speaking parts. Hey, I'm like Koba. Move on. What that mean?
Cannot let go of my hate.
We got Woody Harrelson as the
Special Forces Colonel, who's...
he actually is only credited as the colonel.
Yeah, well, they said earlier he's a Special Forces Colonel.
Well, no, like he has no name other than the colonel.
I like when they do that, yeah. Because it's irrelevant who he was. He has become, right?
Yeah,
The Colonel.
The colonel, and just like he's driven. But you also know, well, in the movie we'll get to that. He's a broken dude. But we also have Steve Zahn as Bad Ape. He's credited
He's just credited as Bad Ape. Wow.
Yeah. And Who
plays some people call me the Space Cowboy. Some people call me Maurice. Ooh. Cause I speak to the competence of love.
Wow.
Do you not know that song?
No, I don't.
I'm a joker. I'm a smoker.
Oh.
I'm a midnight toker.
Oh, okay. I heard that part. I don't know.
My music on the run.
Is that Fleetwood Mac?
Oh, dude.
Just throwing names out there.
I'm trying to like.
Is that Pink Floyd?
I'm credentialing you every single episode, but this fucking this the dudes
the Who?
Fly like an eagle.
Oh,
and,
Seal.
No, Stuck in the Middle with You.
Oh.
Those guys. And I don't know why I came here tonight.
Anyway, well, moving on.
I know, like even I can't think of the name, but that's like what they're. I feel like it's a name like the Jay Giles band, but it's not Jay Giles. Anyways.
So, War for the Planet of the Apes takes place. I want to say
Steve Miller.
Steve Miller. Okay. It takes place. I want to say about
15.
2 years after Dawn
Right.
of the Planet of the Apes.
Well, 15 since.
No, that's on top
Rise.
of the 15. So I think 17 altogether.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I think, so from Rise to Dawn was about 15. And then from Dawn to War is about 10.
2.
Yeah, 2. I was going to say
10.
10 months when the Colonel was talking about.
Oh.
So,
Like at the end of the last one, that's when his boy caught the...
2 years. I think it's 10 months prior to that moment that
Right.
him and Caesar met. So it's sometime after Dawn. Because they did send out that distress signal
At the end of...
Dawn,
Yeah.
right? And they just never came in. I think that was them. Okay, so now we got War, right? War for the Planet of the Apes. So Caesar's been in hiding, and so since then they've been trying to look for this guy, look for Caesar. And then in the beginning, it actually starts off with them, the army, finding Caesar's camp, in a sense. So we start off with a bang in War, and it's kind of sad, really. Like, well, when I see an
Kind of
ape,
a sad movie.
like when you see an ape die in this movie, it's kind of like how I feel like when animals die in movies.
Yeah.
But it's on top of that,
It's a little worse because they're like people.
they're intelligent beings
Yeah.
in the Planet of the Apes universe. You know, they they feel, they are
They
aware.
speak,
I mean,
yeah.
they already are, but I mean,
They have higher functions. They have
it's-
personalities.
yeah, the
they
senses
have-
are heightened for sure. And so the point of this movie is well, we don't find this until later. And heads up, we're gonna spoil this.
Ono spoils everything,
Yeah.
but you guys are lucky he's giving you a heads up on this. Usually we just walk right into the door and be like, oh, hey, here's the ending.
Right. So,
So consider yourselves lucky.
yeah, so there's still this conflict now with humans and apes, and humans just want to take back, I guess, the entire planet, it seems. But so far, it's been isolated in North America, it seems.
Only what they present, but
Yeah,
it's hit the world.
it's the world. Okay.
But
But
because we're American, we only give a fuck about that.
but this war only started because of Koba, and so Caesar is trying to
Backpedal.
kind of, and he wants a more peaceful resolution. You know, this war will end if you just
Yeah,
leave us
actually,
in the woods.
he is trying to, just be separate from that, but he can't escape it because he's not part of the war. The war is literally the planet or time or I don't know what to
Is
say.
it really just humans versus the planet?
That's the obvious,
Obvious.
but it's humans versus their time has come and it's run its course.
Oh, okay, and then it's just the planet is kind of doing a cleansing. In a
Sort
way.
of, yeah.
But
we're
see-
done with us. Yeah.
I think it's our humans are their own kind of downfall. They
Yeah.
destroyed themselves, really, and it really does say that at the end of the film. Humans destroyed humans, but you can't to say that's the last of humankind at the end. That's not true. It can't
Yeah,
be.
no, it's not.
I think maybe just a lot of
Because Nova's gonna meet someone who's gonna get up in there.
the
and
military.
make a little baby.
I think the military is done with. All right, and another heads up: the little girl in this movie is Nova.
If any of you guys,
Well, you find that's a big surprise or big reveal when you find that out, because then at one point she learns sign language pretty quick. You know, Maurice is a good teacher.
Maurice, yeah,
So she asks at one point, "Oh, am I the ape or am I ape?" And Maurice says, "No, well, no." And I thought you're human, but then calling her human might be kind of a negative context.
I think Maurice had to think about that because
Yeah.
she is ape.
Oh yeah, she already putting the two fists up, right? That's their thing.
She's ape in the sense that apes, from what we've seen, their nature is not to destroy.
It's kind of like
Like Koba, he was human.
oh no.
He had been tortured into the fact he was human, And that is why that last part in Dawn
Right.
is so significant, because Caesar tells him, you're not an ape. The kind of ill will and vengeance that seeps in your blood, that is not an ape thing. You have become human. You've allowed them to make you in their image.
Right. So you think apes forgive?
Humans forgive. I just feel it's a baseline.
But
The ape's nature is not to
forgive.
destroy.
Oh, destroy. Oh,
What the f- Come on,
they
guy.
don't destroy. Okay. But so she learns she's Nova. Maurice, told her that was a big reveal. What was I gonna say about ducks fly together, ducks stick together. It's like I kept thinking that, like
Oh, yeah.
the Mighty Ducks.
Let's slide together. Why does everything lead back to the Mighty Ducks with you?
Right. And I kept thinking Ohana, right? No one gets left behind.
I know.
I was like, is that what y'all doing? Apes stick together. Apes are Ohana. There's only really two conflicts in this movie. Two like war scenes. The beginning,
Yeah.
and then you got the big at the end. And everything in between, it's really just
It's super drama. Like,
it's very dramatic,
Yeah.
but it sets up the scenarios and the other big reveals. Like it turns out that the virus has sort of evolved or kind of come back a little bit more stronger now.
so the humans that weren't killed are now being stripped of their humanity, in the sense of the bad parts. They can't speak, and they don't feel hate and rage and entitlement.
Yeah, and it's a kind of a slow deterioration of the human. I would say
The way he paints it, but I feel Woody Harrelson's picture of that is a negative thing, when it's not necessarily, because we see Nova. Nova is afflicted, but I feel afflicted is the wrong word.
right, because then the thing that makes Woody Harrelson mad is just his quote unquote sacrifice.
Yeah.
What he thinks is a sacrifice to humanity, which in turn
It's something he can't deal with because it's foreign.
but he thought that was the only way to fight off this new progression or this new strand.
Actually,
of
can you
the-
look at it? Yeah, I mean, I feel like maybe Buddhists or whatever would say it's closer to enlightenment.
Huh, interesting. Yeah, if you only just approach it differently. Wow, I didn't realize that until now. And just Woody
Lucky I
Harrelson.
was there for 35 minutes.
This guy.
Okay, to tell you the truth, I fell asleep. Like,
Every now and then, would look like he'd be sleeping, and this is at every movie we watch, not just tonight. And then he comes, he taps me on the shoulder and says, "What happened?" I was like, "What do you mean? What happened? How come his family died?" Well, that was about 45 minutes ago. Yes,
because they just mentioned some shit, and I happened to be awake
That's
when
why
that happened. I was like, "What? They murdered Caesar's family? No wonder he red-eyed mad." And Caesar was red-eyed mad most of this movie, right?
That he was becoming Woody Harrelson or Koba.
Oh, nice.
That's what he was turning into, and he didn't realize he was driven, by the deaths of his wife.
I
and
feel
his
like
son.
Koba and Woody Harrelson are two different points on the spectrum of the same thing.
Right,
and Caesar was making his way into that.
He
He
did.
was becoming less ape.
It was, and more monkey. He was being more of a donkey, right? But,
Oh, yeah. Like, what's that about? They called...
yeah, I think he was just doing what he was following orders. But yeah, Caesar was slowly going to go into that, and I feel that moment he sees Woody Harrelson on his deathbed, that he didn't have to do anything already, and there's sort of a kind of irony to that, right? With Woody Harrelson on his deathbed, like, he caught the disease.
Oh, I didn't even pick that up. Good one.
I mean, because he.
And that's why he could not speak.
You didn't catch that?
I didn't.
You thought he was just drunk?
No, I thought he was just pow.
No, he caught the disease at the end.
Okay.
And
Okay,
that's-
I'm not challenging. I'm saying, oh, okay, that makes...
Really? You didn't catch that part?
I didn't, son. I probably
Oh.
just woke up.
Okay. Well, they do a close up on the doll that Nova gave to Caesar,
Right.
and then I
It's
think
like
that
blood-stricken.
it might have she might have carried it. Well,
Okay.
I don't
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
say like she's the source.
Yeah,
this
but she's
thing.
a carrier.
She could be a
But
carrier.
that's not a negative thing, like, in my point of view of this. Our
'Cause-
time has come.
But you slowly. Okay, so you think when you
You're
catch
you're
this-
thinking of it through Woody Harrelson's description in his eyes.
but you don't
He
think
doesn't. He describes it as degenerative. I don't think so.
you think but do they slowly become mentally
No,
really? They're still the same person. They just can't speak.
they just can't speak, and they're alleviated of all the necessities. I feel that humanity has as baggage
Right. So
to conquer, to claim, to
wow. So it's really a war for the planet of the apes, but for humans, it's on a molecular level.
I mean, if you want to take it that far down, with the science, but I feel just thematically,
Wow.
humanity and all its worst parts is getting weeded out because the apes are very much human, but they don't have yet
Right.
that negative aspect of
Because
humanity.
originally this what is it supposed to be a vaccine
Right. It's
or something?
toxic and kills humans, like
Well,
Tyler Maine.
it was intended to cure Alzheimer's. Was that? it?
Yeah. What the fuck is his name?
Lithgow.
Lithgow, yes. John Lithgow.
Just John Cleese. Oh, is he Monty Python?
Monty Python.
Oh, okay. But
Well, Cleese. Yeah.
so that's all it was. So for it to progress, this strand, well, I mean, it kills humans,
Mm-hmm.
but then
And now it's mutated, I guess, to where it's not killing us off entirely, conveniently. It's just killing off the bad parts.
really,
Nah, that's what I
it
feel.
could be. Interesting. Okay.
I feel it's the virus is thematic.
All right. Wow, that could be. Yeah, sure. So what do you think? So we got at the end. We're gonna just fast forward. Well, in the middle, it's just all Caesar, just slowly.
Degenerating and starting to build some hate, right?
Yes, exactly.
To which he needs to let go of by the end.
And we got the one white ape, who they call Winter in this one. I don't remember him. You,
Sorry.
you missed that one too. Anyway, but so we got some traitors within this group, just
Fucking big time.
big time, just telling them where Caesar is. So that's
And like
everything
helping
that-
them load weapons and fucking
Right.
keep in line the prisoners. Like,
Yeah.
wow.
So we get to the end, and we got the final fight, which is really more like a surprise attack, really. And
To them, not us.
yeah, so it turns into Land Before Time
Does it?
after, because they're finding a new home. And it
Oh,
feels like
actually, yeah.
they
They
found
just defeated Sharptooth.
it. And they found a new home. And so we Cornelius, and we got Nova. So it's about, I want to say maybe another 15 years before they, maybe even 10, maybe less.
But see, that wouldn't make sense with the original's timeline where the Statue of Liberty is all but buried on the beach.
Right.
Because that would take generations, not just 15 years.
Right. Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be buried in the sand. It could just be buried in rubble.
Yeah, but they can't erase, because that's the meanest part of the
Yeah.
original Planet of the Apes.
Well, they could, put a twist on it for a modern audience and to fit in with the timeline, like realistically.
I guess, but I feel like they should have made this timeline fit that instead of trying to make that fit this.
Oh,
Because that is the more original.
sure.
But what we have done now
Yeah.
has made better apes, I feel.
Oh yeah, it's definitely an upgrade.
They're
from
more
Tim Burton.
colored. They're more, well, not Tim Burton too, but I'm just, from the 70s fucking original Apes.
Oh,
Like,
I see. Okay, yeah. Just better technology. It makes for better storytelling.
but also, right, like with the motion capture, we really see
We
the
see
emotions of
Caesar.
the fucking apes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really.
I mean, you can see him deteriorating, like,
Yeah.
and his heart breaking as he speaks to the colonel, and how the colonel.
And some apes get some whiplash, or slashes, 10 lashes.
Okay, I missed that part too. I guess if you're being literal. Then...
Yeah, an ape got some lashes while they're helping build the wall. Is that social comment? No, they're building a wall. And Caesar gets up in the middle and he's
Give us free.
no freedom. He yells like let him leave him or let him live. And then freedom.
And then
And then everyone, because then the entire group kind of not lost respect for him, but were kind of like pissed at Caesar for getting them caught, or because they got caught after he separated from the group.
Oh, okay.
And so I think they're more pissed at him for leaving instead of them getting caught. And so they kind of gave him the shoulder when he was thrown into the jail cell with them. And so it was that moment when he stood up for the guy getting lashes. And then they're like, okay, yeah.
Back.
Yeah.
Like,
What was your favorite part of the movie?
I want to say favorite, but not because it was a good scene, but because my heart was breaking along with Caesar as he's talking to the colonel, and the colonel is talking about how he sacrificed his.
That was a good
only son.
exchange, because then I feel like at that moment that was a really good scene too. That might be my favorite one too, because, in a sense, you kind of get Woody's side.
You do,
right? I mean, well, you really do, but then it doesn't really justify anything.
It doesn't, and I feel Caesar thinks of it in the sense of his own loss with his own older son, but he's dealing with that and the hatred of this guy who killed his son, but also killed his own son.
Right.
There's just so much going on, and
because then you
CG
learn
is just like, they really let you in, man.
Oh yeah. I mean, the dramatic parts, like they gave a lot of screen time to like a lot of the ape death scenes.
They did.
Like Luca, and then I don't know if you remember that part, but like Nova gave him the flower afterwards. You didn't see that one.
Wow.
Like, oh my god. And a lot of these apes tear up, man. You can catch the tears.
Yeah,
falling.
actually, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of teardrops in this one. But yeah, it gives Woody's or the Colonel's character, or the character of the Colonel, a more. He is merciless, and he downright straight up tells Caesar, like, "I'm glad I killed your son, so he wouldn't take over after you're gone." But now he forgot about Cornelius. But if it does go into original Planet of the Apes, he gonna grow up to be a scientist or head of the
Boss
apes.
G, who still
and
doesn't hate humans.
Nova's in the jail cell. Oh, what happened there?
Is Nova the hot ass one that fucking
Charleston.
Charlton Heston is immaculate?
Yes, that is her.
Oh shit.
It's the same. You are Nova. Yeah. All right. Well, this is a definite go watch just because of
Big time.
the war. The title, I mean, suggests other things. It's more metaphorical. I mean, because there are there's only two
there's
war
a bit
scenes.
of irony with it. There's a bit of a lot with it,
And it gets deep.
It does. More than any movie with war in the title, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, it's about apes too.
It's an emotional movie. It really is, man.
Yeah. So, yeah, War for the Planet of the Apes. Go watch CC.
This is a Nekko Media podcast.